Tyler Catastrophe has got to be one of the most delusional TikTok influencers I have ever witnessed. In this video, we are going to be looking at Tyler's art business, his obsession with Wilbur Soot, and his delusional ego, so stay tuned. Don't know who Tyler Catastrophe is? Well, he's a haver of skills, a maker of things, and a doer of stuff. Yeah, not very specific. You know what, I think he would rather tell you anyways.
Some of you still don't know who I am, but luckily, I do! And since I'm currently in the process of using my art and jewelry as a means to move all the way from Texas to the UK, in the hopes of acquiring some variation of a global talent visa so I can continue my work, I think it might be time to brag a little.
Oh boy, I can already tell this is going to shave off a few of my brain cells. Well, let's see what he's so proud about.
So hi, my name is Tyler Salona, otherwise known as Tyler Catastrophe. I'm from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, currently living in North Texas. I'm an accomplished lifelong musician, a published poet, an exhibited artist and painter, and I'm known internationally as a weaver, beadworker, and jewelry designer.
Okay, that's quite the list. Wait, there's more? Okay, let's just skip through this. Are we done? Okay, wow, that was quite the introduction. So, as you can see, Tyler is quite accomplished, or at the very least he thinks he is. But what makes him so accomplished? I guess it could be due to his art website where he sells keychains with a single mushroom attached for $13. Or maybe where he sells a pack of 10 beaded necklaces for $700. Oh, this one isn't too bad. $4 for a Bartholomew stained glass pattern. PDF? Oh man, you're charging 4 big ones for a PDF file of a bird? This is getting out of hand.
And every detail from the structure of the weave itself, the quality of each individual bead and gemstone I use, is held to a meticulous standard that I will never compromise on.
Well, Cries, it must be one of a kind and very high quality to be charging that amount. I mean, he said so himself.
Wrong. So I went on his Etsy and I remember the necklace was very expensive. You guys have probably seen this one in the videos. I got this one. And it came with a ribbon that ties it together, but the ribbon broke like as soon as I used it. I found out that this is because he likes to model them before he fucking sells them. Lucky me! Would I buy for him again? No. It came greasy.
Greasy? Oh man, that is absolutely disgusting. What happened to your meticulous quality control, Tyler? And I gotta wonder, where's that grease even coming from? Apparently he likes to model his products, so that means it was probably his neck grease. Ew. Despite the greasy necklaces and overpriced jewelry Tyler sells, he apparently caught the attention of a little-known artist named Stuart Semple, and apparently he was even offered a job to join his studio out in England. Wow, what an amazing opportunity. Now, how was he going to fund this move to England? Well, he did what anyone would do, beg people on the internet. Oh, and don't forget to guilt trip them as well. Hi friends, my name is Tyler and I am a disabled transgender artist from Oklahoma currently stuck in Texas. I've been given an amazing opportunity to move to England and further my art career, and considering everything that's currently working against my safety here, I'm doing everything I can to make it happen. I don't want to have to live in exhaustion and fear for the rest of whatever life I have left. And I'm hoping that isn't too much to ask for. And somehow he actually raised 16 grand, so maybe it would happen. All that needs to happen is for the job to go through.
Holy fuck, Stuart Semple. I've been so incredibly pissed off at the way this man fucked me over for over a year, and I don't like being angry. Traveled 8,000 miles to spend a day in the Culture Hustle studio, completely fell in love with it while doing what was actually free labor now that I think about it. And then he starts looking for a new assistant, and I'm told to apply, so I do. And then when I don't get that job, honestly, really glad I didn't. I'm not made to be someone else's assistant.
Oh my god, the arrogance is deafening. Tyler, can you go one video without sucking your own dick? Look, I'm all for confidence, but this is just arrogance and it's annoying at that. Stuart Semple is a very accomplished artist, and you make summer camp beaded jewelry and sell it for 6 times the price it's worth. You should be honored if you got the opportunity to work alongside this artist that you claimed to look up to, even as just an assistant, but I digress.
So I asked him, point blank, hey, can I have a different job in the studio and I'll just move to England, I'll raise the funds myself, I've got to be out by this date, could it happen? And he said yes. So what do? I put my career on hold, sell basically almost everything else I own, start turning down opportunities thinking I'm gonna be in a different country when they happen, doing the work because I go all in or nothing. And what does he do? Fucking ghosts me. In my head, we were friends. What the fuck? And while I'm being actively ghosted by this man, he posts on his Instagram story, replying to someone asking for a job, telling them to apply. But you can't answer me? And eventually I get so fucking fed up and out of my mind that I have to go to his assistant and be like, hey, can you just fucking tell me if this is happening or not? And she was like, no, I'm so sorry. We hope you have a good life. And I'm like, fuck off, okay. Because this grown man couldn't put his big boy pants on and tell me no, I wound up almost homeless and had to live with my mom and her husband who doesn't like me very much. Because I was supposed to be in England.
Womp womp, Tyler. He doesn't owe you a job. Now that may kind of sound mean of me to say. Well, you will see just how delusional Tyler truly is. But first, I want to see why he thinks he shouldn't even be a lowly assistant.
My work is better than his. I don't have other people making making things behind the scenes that I can claim as my own. This piece is completely unfinished, and you can already tell it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, man, I can totally see the vision.
Definitely don't get me started on the pieces that are finished. I'm an amazing painter, and I'm tired of pretending that I'm not. Completely free-handed this. Pun absolutely intended. And did I mention they're all 4 feet tall?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, the paintings are below mid. They look like those paintings you see in your high school art display. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen paintings in the high school art display that are eons better than what I'm seeing here.
Don't even get me started on my beaded jewelry. Name one person who was making stuff like this.
I want to answer this one. Mel. Yep, this took me about 2 minutes on Etsy to find someone who sells similar jewelry to what you sell. And they've been doing it for 13 years, so let's compare. Here we have a floral beaded choker for 73 buckaroos by Tyler. And Mel here sells similar floral pattern chokers for 11 pounds, about 15 bucks. Yep, a sixth of the price sold by Tyler. And you can sure as hell assume they won't be all greased up. Now let's get back to the job offer that Stuart apparently gave Tyler, and it all starts here. Years ago, Tyler swung by. Nice bloke. Visiting the studio isn't a job offer, just to clarify. And then someone commented, I swear it was an unpaid internship at best. And Stuart says, it wasn't even that. He asked me for a job and I was trying to be nice and said if he ever made it back to England, we could talk about it. He spent less than half an hour with me. He was really lovely and I wish him well, but sadly there was never a job offer. Certainly nothing that should have made him sell all his belongings and plan to move halfway across the world. I hope he's okay. Someone else commented, can you confirm if he is actually friends with those who work in your studio like he claimed? He said he was close with both you and everyone who works there. Close is an overstatement. He sent a lot of messages to a lot of the crew and I know everyone was lovely to him. I think one of the crew was in touch with him a bit more. He may have felt we were friends, but perhaps to us it was a little less than that. So he spent less than half an hour with this guy and said they were friends. Props to Stuart here for being kind about the situation, but this is a dangerous delusion. You met a guy for 30 minutes, asked for a job, which is already unprofessional in and of itself. Then, when you got a maybe we could talk about it if you're ever back in town, you decided to take that as a yes and started a GoFundMe asking for 22,000 buckaroos and sold your entire life to move to England. Wow, that is self-destruction at its finest. I think the funniest thing that came out of all of this was this.
So, about these job offers, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's applied for a job offer.
Yep, this absolutely Chad capitalized off the meme and started selling these paintings that say this painting is not a job offer. That's actually hysterical. Now, some people were saying he went too far or that was mean or whatever, but come on. Tyler threw a catastrophe of a fit over this guy dragging his name through the mud because he didn't get a job from a guy he met for 30 minutes. I think he deserves to sell a few paintings off of it. But guys, this was just part one of Tyler's delusion, and honestly, not even the most delusional aspect of his life. We are now going to enter the Wilbur Soot arc. Wilbur Soot was a YouTuber who ran the Soot House and eventually joined the Dream SMP, a massive YouTube Minecraft group that were and are still extremely popular. Now, where the issue comes into play was a few years back, Wilbur was actually accused of abusing his ex-girlfriend Shelby, or Shubble, and he was essentially shunned from the YouTube space.
He started biting me more and more over a period of time, sort of throughout the whole relationship, and accidents of him biting too hard and really hurting me happened more and more frequently. And then he started saying things like, it was my pain tolerance that was too low, or I'm exaggerating how much it actually hurts. He's not even biting that hard. I'm being dramatic. But his biting escalated to a point where I was covered in bruises all over my arms, and they hurt, and he would poke at them for fun.
Wilbur did partly admit to some of this and has since been involved with a band named Lovejoy. This is very essential to the story of Tyler because he is a big fan of Lovejoy and an even bigger fan of Wilbur Soot.
I have had a crush on Will Gold since 2019 when I heard him laugh in the background of someone else's video and it felt like life itself leaned in to listen.
So you mean to tell me you developed a crush that quickly after hearing his laugh? Yeah, just his laugh in the background of a video? Oh, what?
Which is really inconvenient for me, because I'm very much a one soul at a time kind of person, so once I develop a crush, virtually no one else stands a chance ever. And so in all of that time, regardless of how many people have tried and been interested in me,
Stop the cap.
I have not been able to find the interest for any single one of them, because I have a fucking crush on a guy I have interacted with once.
Yeah, this is the parasocial final boss. You're 27 years old, Tyler. Get your shit together. You're seriously letting a YouTube crush prevent you from finding other people?
No matter how many times I try to sweep this under the rug and move on with my life, there's always that little thing in the back of my head saying, there's a non-zero chance. Oh my god. Best case scenario, you know, he somehow managed to make me want to write music again, something I have not done since my last band broke up in 2019 and I got hit by a car and couldn't sing anymore.
So even when everyone was against Wilbur Soot because of his allegations, which, by the way, he partly admitted to, this is what Tyler had to say.
I do not think that Wilbur Soot is an abuser, and I know I've said that fairly indirectly in the past, especially recently, but I do feel like now it needs to be said point blank. Because as someone who has been a victim of abuse, sexual assault, domestic violence, I know way too well what those things look like.
Get in there and make it about you, Tyler.
For the third point, Shovel states very clearly in her follow-up VOD that she consented to the biting. She then went on to clarify that what she had an issue with was the fact that it hurt. And while I don't think anyone should be hurt in their relationships, at the end of the day, that is a communication issue. And whether it's just a poor communication or lack thereof, both parties are responsible.
Tyler, you offer no real evidence here, you just state your opinion as if it's fact. And no, he constantly crossed a boundary, made fun of the abuse in front of their friends, told her that it's her fault that she was in pain and bruising, all while she said she wasn't okay with it multiple times. Even if you consented a few times, then later they constantly crossed a boundary that caused pain, it does in fact make it abuse. Also, do you know how lame you sound? You're telling someone who experienced abuse that their story and experience doesn't matter or didn't happen because you went through something worse. Yep, some advocate you are. And honestly, in hindsight, this was personal. I don't know if it was out of jealousy or what, but the internet had found Tyler Catastrophe's old Tumblr account. So let's see what was found. I wish Wilbur Soot would call me baby. Hashtag I just say words. Hashtag and I live by that. Hashtag manifest or whatever. LMAO. Hashtag age appropriate crushing for the win. I don't even want to know what you meant by that. Now this is where we can see where it gets personal. If Shelby Shovel has no haters, assume I never existed because I'd still be hating from the grave. Hashtag Wilbur support squad. Classy. Can I be honest now? I can't stand Shovel. Like in general, not a fan. Hashtag hater hours. Hashtag her vibes are rancid. Oh my god. So yeah, this shows that this was personal. He even put hashtag her vibes are rancid. I mean, what the fuck? Now, the defending of Wilbur was honestly one of the biggest downfalls for Tyler, as he was unwilling to surrender on any point, and rightfully, people criticized him for this. The obsession with Wilbur does not end there. Remember that GoFundMe for the England move Tyler had? Well, people were wondering, why the hell was it still up if the job offer never went through? Well, he still had plans to move to England. More specifically, Brighton. And this got a lot of people wondering, why? Why would you want to move to England? You live in the United States. Look, I understand maybe wanting to move out of Texas, but you can go somewhere like, I don't know, Portland, Oregon. You would fit right in. But guys, guess who lives in Brighton? Yep, Wilbur Soot. Coincidence? I think not. Tyler is in love with Wilbur and Wilbur's band Lovejoy, and he even auditioned for it on one of his TikToks.
Absolutely no idea if one of my favorite bands might want a second vocalist, but I do know I am crazy enough to ask. So hi, Lovejoy. Do you want a second vocalist? My name is Tyler Salona. I'm 26 years old. I live in Texas, but I'm trying to move to England anyway. I'm a massive extrovert. I've been performing since I was 10, and in 2019, I was actually a semi-professional vocalist, but then had to spend almost 5 years getting my voice back after losing it completely because someone hit me with their car. Anyway, here's Portrait of a Blank Slate. The whole thing. I hope you like it. I mean, you probably like it already, let's be honest. It is your song, but I also hope you like the parts that I'm gonna do. The singing part. You know. This is a long intro for TikTok, but we can make it over here, so listen to it. It's amazing. I love this song. Shit. I feel like I'm gonna do the Macarena. Anyway. He told me that much and now he's dead. Told me to kill my indulgences with a sharp blow to the temple. Pick up the phone, call and do everything he says. I could take a plastic camera. We can make such a pretty picture.
I'll give you a tip for future auditions. Don't.
So maybe that was just an off day for little old Tyler. You know what, I'll give you a second chance.
Listen to me.
Yeah, it's a definitive no from me. Maybe Tyler's voice was that of an angel before he got hit by that car. Want to know something interesting about that situation too? First of all, Tyler was on a motorcycle. That's badass. But secondly, Tyler was at fault. He made it sound like some reckless person smashed into him, but no, Tyler was not only found at fault for the accident, but wasn't even licensed at the time. And as much as it sucks to be involved in a crash while on a motorcycle, Tyler clearly has a pattern of behavior of victimizing himself while taking away any victimization from anyone else, and frankly, it's tiring. I do want to mention that recently Tyler did issue an apology. Kind of a mid-apology in my opinion. It seemed more to get people off his ass rather than to take full accountability, but hey, I can at least respect the sorry. And with that apology, we have sort of reached a conclusion to this story. For now. Because Tyler, as we speak, has arrived in England. And honestly, without a visa or any real plans.
So for immediate safety reasons that I cannot and will not discuss publicly, I spent the past 2 weeks moving out of my apartment and shoving basically my entire life into a storage unit. And for the sake of people who are waiting on orders from me, here is an update. I'm going to be spending the next little while in a short-term accommodation, trying to get the last of the August orders out finally, and then I am getting on a plane to England.
Bro, you're doing orders from August? It's June, dude. I can't imagine you had that many orders. That's insane.
It will be temporary on a tourist visa while I just try to figure things out. I am legally allowed to work remotely while I'm there on a tourist visa, so I will still be working on orders. I will have less responsibilities over there, so I'll be able to work on the orders a lot quicker. I will finish the work over there. I will send it to someone here in the States. They will pack them and ship them out to you just like I would if I were here. My hope is to be fully caught up by the end of the summer. Right now, it's looking like I'll probably be in England through November. Hopefully, by the end of that time, I will have a more solid plan to move permanently. But with all of the off-camera things that I cannot and will not talk about, the leap of faith is kind of my only decent option.
So I guess the plan is just to use the 16 grand of GoFundMe money on hotels and whatever for a short vacation. That's not gonna last very long, especially in Brighton. Good luck, I guess. Now look, is Tyler Catastrophe the worst person on TikTok? Not by a long shot, but Tyler is definitely a delusional narcissist who has been in a self-destructive spiral and can't seem to snap out of it. Anyhow, make sure to subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, and that's about it for today. See ya.